Hi everyone and welcome to Rob Evans 365. This is day number 377 and another glorious day here. I'm out for a walk, having a break from my extremely busy day today. I was starting to nod off because I had a very disrupted sleep last night, and I reckon I've only had about 3 hours sleep, maybe 4 hours sleep, so feeling a bit tired. And I thought, do you know what, I can do one of two things. I can just have a sleep right now, like a little nap, and often I'll just lie on the office floor and have a sleep for 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and then I feel energized to get back into it. Or I can go out and walk in the beautiful sunshine. So I took the approach of, do you know what, I'm going to get out and walk because it's a beautiful day and I don't want to waste it. So that is what I'm doing right now. And a part of the day, a way that the day started was with a phone call with my publishers over in New York, and a really exciting stage that I'm going through, and I wanted to share it with you if any of you are ever interested in writing a book and just the process that you go through, because I found it really, really intriguing, and when it's because it's my own book, it makes it even more of a vested interest and exciting. So I have to say that the publishers are managing the process so well. Obviously they're experts in it, and it's so seamless. So we had 4 people on the phone call today, and the outcomes for today were to discuss the front cover, the inside of the book, as in like the contents, and the back page and the spine of the book, timelines, any questions I had. So it was an hour and 40-minute phone call, and they were based all over America, North Carolina, Jeff's in LA, I don't know whether Dave's in New York or somewhere like that, and of course me being in Melbourne, Australia. And first of all we talked about the front cover design, which is really interesting to talk. They wanted to know how I came to create the cover design, how I came to write the book, what I wanted to have in the book, what was I suppose the main reason for writing the book, the objective of the book. And when you walk through that process, it's really quite illuminating, because you reflect back on, well, why did I actually write it? And I think it's exciting when you verbalise what it is that you've done, because people want to know, what's your story? What journey have you gone through to get to this point where you want to publish a book and share it with the world? So that was interesting. And then they wanted to understand the concepts behind the front cover and how I tested different versions to get to where I got to. And then we started talking about colours and throwing up different colours and talking about what's the impact of this colour. And it was really great to get their perspective, because obviously they're experts, but when they're throwing in things that it's like, oh man, I never would have thought about that. It makes sense, but I just never would have thought about it from that perspective. And then we talked about font sizes and taking me off the front cover and putting me on the back cover, and the reasons for doing that, and the title, subtitle, etc., etc. So that process was really exciting. And what's even more exciting is that the cover is currently being worked on as I record this, and they should have something to me shortly. But that process of concept to final completion of the cover, the front anyway, will be about 3 weeks. So that's an exciting part of it, because then I can start to use that image to promote the book, etc. So that's exciting. Then we start to talk about the contents of the book and how we're going to manipulate some of it and remove some of it from hard copy book and make it a digital online version, which has got a lot of pros for doing that. I just like taking me off the front cover. There's a lot of benefit in doing that, just in terms of things like, well, you know, unless when you pick up a book, you know what it's like. Unless you know who that person is on the front cover, it can immediately say, well, who is this person? That what is their expertise on the topic? Why should I buy this? I can't relate to it. I'm going to put it down. Now, if it's someone famous, then that can be different. So let's say it's Oprah on the front cover. Then it's like, oh, I can relate to her. I know who she is. I like the title. I don't care what's in it. I'm getting it. So that obviously made logical sense to me as well. And then we talked about the back cover and the sizing of the book, the price of the book, a US price point for it. And it was interesting to hear them talk amongst themselves as to why it should be this price and that price, and the feedback that they'd had from the team as to when to release the book, which we're aiming for May next year in the US, being spring, summertime. But what was really illuminating and quite pleasing for me is that the team came back to them and said it actually wouldn't matter when we release this book because it's really compelling, it's got a powerful title, it's got really great content, we could release it any time. And I'm like, wow, that's exciting. To get that approval from other people, because you just never know whether these things are going to work or not. So another 3 weeks or so for them to get the middle of between the cover pages done, and because there's quite a bit of work to be done there, and then the back cover and some other items will take another 3 weeks. So they essentially said by October this year I should have copies of the books in my hands from today's date. And so it's getting closer and closer to a reality that I'm actually holding what I've created, obviously with their ingenious help. And I kind of had to pinch myself at one point. It still kind of doesn't feel completely real. But, you know, they were talking to me about the process that they go through to then, you know, get the books into bookstores and the behind the scenes, what needs to happen to get the book in bookstores, and pre-sales and sales of the ebook before on Amazon and so forth, so that they can get reviews and get some momentum, so that when they go to the bookstores to get them to pick up the book, they can see that there's already some momentum here and this is a book that they want to jump all over. So it's exciting. It's that unknown excitement of what's going to happen when they push the button here. Is it something that many people are going to resonate with? That's what my hope is, because it means I can help more people. So it was, I think if you went back to a 365 that I did a number of months ago, when I first got the details from the publisher as to the steps left to get this book to be printed, I was really assuming that so much of the work was going to be done by me, and what were they actually going to do. And today's and the last phone call I had with them has really helped put that in perspective, that, oh yeah, wow, there's so much to this publishing game that I just don't understand, and they're going to do so much of it that I would just have no idea how to get started in it. And so I'm excited about that. I've said the word excited a few times here today, but yeah, It's just terrific. It's really terrific, and couldn't be more over the moon with how it's going. So my next steps are I've got to trim up some bits and place some bits in the book, and I'm sure there will be more work to come once their team gets hold of the manuscript to work out the font sizing and tables and all that kind of stuff, what that's going to look like. But my part is almost done with it for now, and right now I'm waiting for some proofreaders to get back to me, because the book has to be proofread, and this, believe it or not, is a specialised skill. It's not just reading it over and saying, yeah, that looks okay, and here's a comma missing here. It's very, very specific. There's editing guidelines that must be complied with, and yeah, that's something that I have to organise, so I just hope it doesn't cost too much, because I've read it so many times now. It's like, surely it's just okay the way that it is, but my way of thinking is it doesn't matter if there's even some typos in it. You're not going to lose the message of the book, but we want it to be professional and in accordance with their guidelines. So I've got to do that step. So hopefully within 24 hours, because I'm dealing with different time zones here, we will get a response on that. So I am really excited. And what I was also thinking is, so I'm going to the US in November this year, and the networking group that Jeff is connected with, I'm also connected with. And last year he ran an event before Mega Success, and they had 178 people attend. And it's like, wow. As we progress a little bit further, I'm going to talk to him about me being one of the presenters this year, and then we can do a book signing or something at the end of it, and that would be really exciting, because I can remember sitting in that room last year and just being wowed by the couple of people that they had speak, and it just puts them on a completely different pedestal. And this would be one of the first opportunities to talk about my book with book in hand, and I guess put the relevancy of Awakening the Sexy Within to the audience, and maybe that's putting a business twist on it, and talking about the energy benefits of improved health and so forth. I think I think even in the business context, it's a really interesting topic. I mean, you talk about sex, sexy, and people's ears prick up. I mean, that was one of the big reasons for selecting the title the way that I did, because it's compelling. It makes the reader want to pick it up and just probe a little bit to say, oh, what's this about? That sounds like a good title. Everybody I've told the title to, they're like, oh, that's a good title. And they see normally with a smile. So there's a few things that lay ahead that I'm also excited about. And who knows? Who knows? I can see that this might be a springboard to I guess, greater impact around the world, or particularly in the US, I guess, because that's where the book is going to be released first. And that really excites me. And all of this has really happened because of one person, and not just me, but my coach, JT. He's the one that's given me the energy and the burning desire to take action to get all this done, and he's provided the opportunities and the networking possibilities to make this all happen. I guess the difference is that you could be surrounded with a whole bunch of different opportunities as well, but the question is, are you acting to take advantage of those opportunities? Because I could have gone to the event last year and not taken any of those opportunities, but instead I said, this is my time. I need to act right now, like in this moment. I need to go and do this right now, otherwise that possibility could be lost forever. And you just never know that you could be one person, one connection, one relationship, one decision away from the difference between not having what you want in your life to having everything that you've ever dreamt of in your life. And if you think that's far-fetched, I'm sure there are aspects of your life where you can think, well, actually, if this happened, then, and you're immediately going to think about money probably, but if this one thing happened, you could see that your life would be completely different and way more abundant than it is right now. But those things don't just turn up, like your Tats Lotto or your lottery draws. That is not going to solve your problem. And let's face it, most people don't win. So don't hold out on winning lottery to change your life. You're wasting your money. It's not going to happen. People say to me, oh, well, somebody's got to win. So, well, actually, no, they don't. They can just keep going on and on and on. And chances are you're not going to win. It's like winning at the slot machines. You've got something like a 2 or 3% chance. I think they're actually programmed so you will lose. They're actually programmed for you to lose. But it's that addiction of, I could be the one that wins. I could be that person. So you keep plugging your money in and pulling the lever. So what are you doing? You've got opportunities around you. Are you making the most of them? The next thing is, what opportunities are you creating for yourself? Because you could say, oh, well, the right opportunity hasn't come along. Well, I could say the same thing. I'd say, oh, well, the right opportunity didn't come along. But all of these things that I have achieved have happened directly from me taking an opportunity and running with it. All of them. My book, what I'm doing in the business now, all of that has happened from me making the most of an opportunity, putting myself in a position to have an opportunity, taking the opportunity, and then continuing to take really big action every day to make sure I implemented everything I could to maximize that opportunity. Most of us don't do that. Most of us just wait, hope, and then see what happens. And then stop. But it doesn't work like that. True success, true fulfillment, it doesn't happen. It'd be a bit like me saying, well, the book's with the publisher now, I'm done. It's like, this is just the beginning. Even though there is so much work, like a decade of work that's gone into producing the thing, and you can see that, well, this is, the end, and gosh, I'm going to be celebrating and so forth when I get my hands on it. But that's really just the beginning. It's just the beginning of where I want to get to. I just saw the book as an opportunity for me to build massive credibility around the globe. And that's why I've made decisions to do what I have done. And I've had to invest a lot of time's probably the biggest cost, investing in getting it done. So I'm not that special. Maybe you're listening to this and you've followed me for a while and you think, wow, you've done so much. And yeah, look, I've done a bunch of great things, but I'm just this ordinary guy that has decided to make decisions along the way of my life to shift it in a different direction, make sure that I don't die with any regrets. I maximise every opportunity and I keep taking continuous action to get me closer and closer every day. I'm looking to grow every day. I'm making sure that I'm working on relationships every day, growing relationships, personal relationships as well as business relationships every day, to be the best version of myself that I can be for me, my kids, my family, intimate partner, and for my clients. So I reckon you've got a lot more that you can be doing. So I want you to take this podcast and say, what are the opportunities for me that I have? What can I do? Jump on the Google machine and see what are the opportunities in X. Whatever it is that you're particularly passionate about, wanting to move forward in your life, see what the opportunities are and just make a decision today to move yourself closer towards its attainment. Because if you put it off till tomorrow and then again the next day and the next day and the next day, it's not going to happen. You will not get to that point that you really want to, because your mindset is, oh, well, tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry, but tomorrow never comes. And if you're going to put off a life vision, a life dream, a life vision till tomorrow, then I'm sorry, you're not going to achieve it. You've got to do it now. Do it now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, decide. Do it. Have fun with this project. It'll change your life.